Hello and welcome to 60 Second Retro Gamer. Joining me, Simon Pryor, as always, Mr. Rich Hatton.
Hello.
And Mr. Ant Tremaine.
Nom nom nom.
Yeah. Are you eating minstrels again?
I am.
Okay.
I've got a massive family-sized pack of which I have a second one in my bag.
Oh.
His addiction knows no limit.
No.
As soon as he turns into Jabba the Hutt, that's the point we intervene.
Yeah.
I'm not far off.
Ho ho ho. Solo. Anyway, today...
What's stronger, Birdman, the addiction or you?
We're going to talk about Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo, or SNES, or Super NES, as some people call it. I've never been
Or
a
the
fan.
Famicom.
Super Famicom.
Sorry. Super Famicom.
If
That
you're,
just sounds rude.
If you're from Japan.
yeah,
No.
the Super Famicom.
Which I don't think a lot of people are anymore.
Oh,
Sorry. I have... I wish you all well.
Mm.
Yeah, I know, I lowered the tone.
I wish you luck.
God rest the Pokemon creator.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
Did he?
And he
In the
died in the
quake.
earthquakes, yeah. So I've
Shameful.
heard. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh.
So it's rolling on nicely without him, I think. So anyway, but hey ho. Donkey Kong Country is the game we're talking about today. Originally released by Rare in 1993, it was one of the first video games, well, certainly one of the nicest looking video games of the 16-bit era that used 3D style graphics. It was a 2D side-scrolling platformer, but well, not so much side-scrolling because you could go backwards and forwards, but 2D platformer with 3D-esque graphics, which was most impressive on a 16-bit system. So
They still look quite good, to be honest.
yeah, I mean, it still looks pretty nice today.
It's like a red wine. It has aged well.
It has, unlike GoldenEye, that game hasn't aged particularly well.
Tomorrow
let's be
Never
honest.
Dies.
All that one. But we'll talk about those in later episodes. This is a game. It was actually so popular when we bought it. It was $54.99. I still have the sticker on the box from when we bought it.
$54.99.
Yeah,
That's a lot of money back in the early 90s.
yeah. And we got that, and it was the last one in the shop. So much so when we got home to find we had an empty box, and it's actually the display game that they were demoing the game of in the store. So we had to go back and get the demo copy of the get the display copy of the game from them. So that was fun. But it's basically it was Rare were given the Donkey Kong license by Nintendo. They were pretty much the first Western company to be given control over one of Nintendo's characters, which is interesting in itself. And they essentially created a story where Donkey Kong he's on his island. He's the son or nephew or grandson of the original Donkey Kong from the arcade game, who turns up as Cranky Kong, as you do, as the old grumpy old Kong in the game. And so Donkey Kong is on his island, and King K. Rool, can you see what they did there? King K. Rool. He turns up and steals all of Donkey Kong's bananas.
Why? Was it ever explained why he's...
It may be in the manual, but I was never really that interested, to be honest. I just know he's a big lizardy type chap who has decided that he's going to steal Donkey Kong's bananas, and he was a consistent villain through pretty much all of Donkey Kong's games until the GameCube.
Heavy Rain, eat your heart out.
Why?
Story-wise,
Oh,
I've
right.
been slightly sarcastic.
Oh, well, it's not.
I don't think story was a massive partake
No.
in games back then, was it? It
It's
was
not.
more
it's
the
not a
gameplay.
massive story thing that they're aiming for that, but
No.
so it's just the concept to get the game going pretty much. And so it's up to Donkey Kong to collect bananas, letters that spell out Kong on every level. No reason why you have to collect them.
Yeah.
There's no real bonus for it. And
It's
just
an
basically,
extra challenge.
yeah, and go through world after world. I think there's about 8 worlds altogether, and retrieve his banana stash.
Only for it to be stolen again in the next game.
And the game after that.
It's a fruitless task.
Oh, yeah.
Funny. So Donkey Kong is joined by Diddy Kong. He's I don't know what the relationship is there. I'll have to look in the manual.
Probably son on him.
It's not son, no. I think it's nephew.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a long line of Kongs, isn't it?
Yeah, that you need to play Donkey Kong 64. There's hundreds of them.
Oh, shit, there.
Not literally. There's just a lot of them. So in this game, Donkey Kong is joined by Diddy, so you can have 2-player co-op. You can have 2-player split. I don't think you can have split screen, but you can alternate. So you can have co-op at the same time playing together. You can have alternate go, so one person plays the level, then player 2 plays the level, and so on. Or you can obviously just play single player. You can swap out between Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, who both have different abilities. Where is my daughter? Is that on telly?
4 stars
I
tonight.
don't think.
4 stars? I don't think so. Bullshit.
Anyway.
V for Vendetta on the same level as that.
Oh
Bullshit.
dear. Back to
Sorry,
topic. Yeah.
my bad. Carry on.
And Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong both have different capabilities. So Donkey Kong can slap the ground. He's got more weight behind him, so he can just beat some of the bigger bosses. Whereas Diddy is smaller. He's more agile. He wears a cap.
It's because he's a mid-90s child.
He's a mid-90s child. Yeah. He wears a big T-shirt with a D on it, I think. So, and basically, Diddy Kong, he can do like gambols and roll at enemies, and the bigger ones he can't beat because he's too small. So he has to do the cartwheel roll. No, that's the different game. That's the end. That's the Wii one. And basically they're different capabilities. I usually, when I play through, it's just Donkey Kong unless he dies, in which case play transfers to Diddy Kong. But in the subsequent games, the different characters had abilities that were needed at certain points, and it just made life a bit easier for it. But they introduced it a bit more at later stages. But so you've got a number of different worlds, a number of different types of level. There are some bits where you ride mine carts, which are great fun. You have to have quick reflexes for those. I mean, you've seen the clips as well, and it's like sometimes it seems grossly unfair, but that's the sort of game it is.
Platforming game.
Yep. And basically, as well, once you've played it through a couple of times, once you've got used to where the villains or the bad guys turn up, and they're all like various like snakes, crocodile, upright walking crocodile chaps.
Anthropomorphic.
Yep, that's the one. Like Bucky O'Hare. And there's a number of other supporting characters that help you out along the way, including Rhino. There's Rhino's a frog, which lets you jump really high, a swordfish, and an ostrich, which they have bonus levels associated with them, and you pick up little gold icons. On several levels, they have little icons that are in the shape of the animal in question, and you basically you go into this level and you collect 100 little tokens that look like the animal, and you get an extra life and so on. And they're all quite fun as well, and it's not really useful in the main game for the most part. They incorporate it on a few levels, but it's mostly superfluous to the story, to the gameplay. But it jazzes things up a little bit. And another thing they introduced as well was variable weather on some of the levels. I mean, it doesn't change as you go through the level really, unless it's scripted. But there's the plain jungle levels. There's levels set underwater. I mean, how does a monkey breathe underwater?
That doesn't make any sense.
With a snorkel.
But he doesn't have a snorkel. And you ride the swordfish in a thrusting manner.
Oh, T-virus. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's all down to the T-virus. And there's levels with rain on them, and various bees as well. Bees with thorns in them. there in this game, and
Of
you don't want
course.
to touch them.
No.
It doesn't help. They sting you if you touch them.
Yeah.
And it's a great game, to be honest. And it always reminds me of when I was younger, because my uncle
So
used-
much younger than today.
Yes. Days turn to weeks, turn to months, turn to years.
That's quote referencing the Beatles.
Yeah. And
Anyway.
yeah, it was
Moving swiftly onwards.
years ago. My uncle used to come over, and him and my dad used to play through the game and basically go from the very first level and try and play through it as far as they could. I never saw past about World 4. But it's really quite an inventive game, and it still holds up today, and I can still go back and play it today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it does feel a little bit weird going back to play it on the SNES pad, but that's like 15 years worth of evolutioning video gaming that's put paid to all of that. But I mean, I really quite enjoy it. It's a good example of what the SNES was capable of at the time as well.
Yeah.
And it looks nice, it plays nice, and yeah, I can't fault it, to be honest.
Well, if you've got games developed by Rare, 9 times out of 10, that's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I can't fault anything they've done so far, to be honest. Even Cameo, I've played Cameo, and that's pretty decent. Even if it's a launch Xbox title, it still holds up. Maybe not to the same degree as Donkey Kong Country does, but still, it's a most enjoyable game.
Yes.
With regards to well, obviously there's no downloadable content for it because it's an old retro game, but no voice acting, but soundtrack. I love the music in the game as well.
Yeah.
Didn't they remake a lot of it for the new one?
They did, yeah.
From what I recognise.
They re-recorded the music for the Wii version,
With
and
its jazz.
yeah, they've jazzed it up.
Can you? Sorry, I haven't said anything in a while. Can you imagine trying to do that around the world in 60 minutes? That would be
No,
an impressive feat.
Yes.
If anything, you'd have to be pretty quick,
Superman level.
pretty nippy on your toes. Oh, hello.
Yeah, sorry.
When does that
The
start
event
then?
is back, Anthony.
Ah, friggin' hell, when's that?
Tomorrow.
Monday.
Fuck, I have to tell my mum and dad then. Sorry.
But yeah, back to the subject at
Back to-
hand,
yes.
Anthony.
My bad.
Now you've finished reading through the
TV guide.
yeah.
I haven't said anything in a while. I got a bit distracted. So.
By the TV guide.
Yeah.
Doesn't say much, does it?
And its uncouth review of
Yeah.
Taken.
But yeah, the music to it as well. I mean, it always sort of takes me back to like when I was like 11 or 12 when it came out, and it's just one of those soundtracks that I wish they'd done like an official release of, because then I'd easily gone out and bought it already. But they've sort of done the same thing again with the new game, which we'll talk about in the next podcast. But it all comes together really well, and you can tell that Rare put a lot of care and effort into producing the game and making sure everything worked. There aren't really any glitches that I'm aware of. Occasionally there may be the odd bad collision detection between you and the bad guys. But
Yeah, that's what you get. It's
Again,
the same in
typical
Mario,
platform,
though,
yeah.
isn't it?
it's not as noticeable as some other platform games.
Well, it was an old console though, wasn't it? You can forgive them the odd occasional. Hello.
What?
That was yeah. You can forget them the odd occasional. Forgive them the odd occasional little.
Yeah, but I mean,
Error.
the thing is, I mean, even if you do spot it, it's not as noticeable. It's more of an accident that you spot it than it's like, oh, that's glaringly obvious, you know.
Yeah.
It's good game design. The fact that they've managed to, if there are glitches like that, they've managed to hide it, and you don't feel overly gypped if you die. I mean, there are some really nasty levels, and this has followed on into the reimagined game that's just come out, where there are some bits where you've got to time your run and get it exactly spot on, or you will get crushed.
Right.
There are some levels with little gerbil things, and they're in it's sort of like an Egyptian style design, and we didn't capture this when we played it through, but they're in like basically this little gerbil in this big stone hamster wheel, and they're sort of spinning that up and down, and they go up and down, up and down. You've got this little alcove underneath to jump into, wait for it to go up, and then you've got to jump over to the next one and avoid that one, and you've got to time it all spot on. It's great game, love it. And if you do want to get an idea of games to play on the SNES, if you are interested in retro stuff, I highly recommend having Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo, because it's one of the best games you'll find on that console.
Yes.
So unless you guys have anything to add, I think that's...
Never had a SNES, so I can't really comment
you make
upon
me
it.
sick.
No, I never had one either.
Not my fault.
Did you have a Mega Drive?
I didn't have any console.
Did you
My
not?
first console was a PlayStation.
Oh.
I had something with a joystick and Pac-Man on it.
That's not a console, really, is it? That's
Well,
was
no,
it
it was.
preloaded
It was
on
this
the-
big, massive box thing, but the controllers were joysticks.
right.
It was quite funny, and it had Pac-Man on it, which I don't know what the friggin' hell it was called. But my mum
I
and dad
didn't
bought
have
it from somewhere.
I didn't have a console. I had a 386,
Oh.
A what?
a PC.
Oh.
Still got it. It's up in the loft.
Old school.
Oh,
So you
Windows 3 point fucking one.
you're old school, just not.
I'm
Oh.
I'm chic old school.
You came in from a different entrance.
I did.
You're Junction 17 on the M42,
I am.
and everyone else is like Junction 3. So they exited earlier,
Yes.
or entered. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
My metaphor isn't really working. is
Putting
it?
too much thought into
Yeah.
it.
So, thank you for listening if you have been. We'll be back next time with Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii. So, if you have any questions or you'd like to suggest a game for us to review, go on.
What are clouds made of?
I'm just going to ignore that. If you have any questions related to the podcast, send us an email to info@randomstoke.com or visit randomstoke.com for all of our other videos and podcasts, all of which should still be available unless the web space has gone horribly long. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.